Gumper,
How's it going?
Tana,
Howdy.
Kaminsky, etc.
Just entering.
What's up, guys?
And girl,
Oh, Dana.
girls,
Plural.
Howdy, everybody.
And Marsha. Marsha's here. And Lynn.
4 girls.
Oh,
Five
usually
girls.
like an average
Jesus.
weight or something.
We're
It's,
being
it's, really-
overtaken.
it's nice.
Kirsten, what's up with the clean shave? What the hell?
It's not.
Oh, there you go.
It's far away. It's
He's
dark.
in a dark room.
There you go.
Hey, Greg. I just had Ken Romaine blow me up about the new Mac Ultra.
Oh, he's hitting the street hard.
Yeah.
We just started to open up our travel, and so the guys, it's kind of like letting the dog out in the backyard. They run around the grass as fast as they can. So
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm excited. I watched the webinar. It's a great fixture. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
thank you.
Hopefully Kevin O'Brien will wrangle a Christie Lights demo soon. I can pop down.
I already took care of it for you, dude.
Ah, woo!
Nice.
It's like the 18th or 19th of May, just before we do Hofstra.
Oh, great. Okay.
We have just enough time. Yeah, Greg, Ken just called me and he's like, I got a thing to follow up with you after the demo. I was like, well, that's because the system never sent me the link for it.
Oh, okay. Patrick, are you in a nightclub?
I am. I'm in
Basically.
Gumper Strip Club.
What are you rolling through Gobos there, buddy?
Justin is.
Oh, what's up, man?
Wow.
What are you doing, an Elation demo?
Yeah, basically. Got the now we're putting together. I'm producing the product demo video for the Mondrian units.
Oh.
Justin found the fog machine.
Where are you guys? You're in
He's over
Gumper's
there.
shop?
Andrew's studio.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, the Mondrian looks really cool too. There's a lot of great products coming out.
It's
It's
really
it's
cool.
crazy. I watched that ETC demo this morning. That thing was killer too. the new
Oh,
Source
man.
I
board.
was just going to ask. I was in on it yesterday, and it was a really impressive presentation, I thought.
It's
No, that
it's
thing
going to be
looks
a
killer.
great. I'm bidding on a fixture. I'm helping get some fixtures in a theater, and after seeing that, I'm swapping out all the Chevet, Colorado 3s for the Fresnels.
Good.
Those
They're
things
not
are-
on our call anyway, so you can swap those out all day long. Get rid of those. Get rid of that Chauvet shit.
I didn't want it. They gave me the list and said, go bid this. So here we
Does
go.
anyone know how expensive that ETC thing is? Is it the same as the version 2?
No, it's actually not that bad. The Fresnel, I think, list.
Kevin's
is
going, no.
It's not that bad. I mean, list from what
Yes, it
I
is,
saw
Matt.
was like
I
28.
got all of your prices today, man.
Okay, all right. But I mean, what ETC was saying was list. I think the Fresnel was like 26 or 28, and then the Lico is like 21, something like that. But what they're doing, the cool thing is they're lowering the price of the Series 2 to get rid of those. So there's some good deals there. And as of September 31st, I think they're phasing out all Series 1 and trying to get rid of Series 2. So
Cool.
get them while
I
you can.
smell a vibrant used gear market.
That's
Yeah.
almost a requirement, Marcel, for us to sell sometimes the new gear. So please, we want you
is
to
true.
be very successful.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I'll tell you, if
Justin
it's
did a nice job on the keynote, if anybody listened to that.
oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Townsend's
Well,
an awesome.
I watched the video. I watched
Yeah.
the video that somebody, actually, I think it might have been Gary from Christie posted it on LinkedIn today. And it was amazing. It's like an Apple demo. It reminded me of Steve Jobs doing an iPhone launch or something, very slick, very well presented.
What was it?
And it's like, and it's 41% this, and it's 17.5% this, and like really geeky specs that they're making exciting.
I mean, you look at the photometrics, it's pretty equivalent to a Source 4 750.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bright. So
it's very well done video. I'm super impressed with everything I'm seeing right now. Like, I mean, I don't know what manufacturer's on it here. I know Steve Warren's here, Martin's here. Who else? Anyone else? I don't see anyone else yet. But you know, the manufacturers in general, I'm so happy to see them sort of coming out from the darkness and starting to launch new products, and not doing it in a real small way, like coming out and going, I'm here, you know, and making a
Yeah,
big deal of
Roby
it.
came out with
Love
something
it.
too. The lead beam
Yeah.
350. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good too. It
Yeah.
looks pretty good too.
The lead beam series is a great light.
Yeah. No, it's
Everyone's
killer.
letting it all out now. No one's gonna have new product in November.
And
Phil.
we've had
Oh,
13. If we didn't do this, we've had 13 months, right? So I'm glad, right? Anybody
No,
that's
no excuse, Greg.
I saw
Exactly.
another really cool thing, which again, it was Steve Warren. I don't remember if it was an Avo thing or a Robe thing, but I saw a video today of the Avo console just sitting there by itself, the D9, running a Robe demo thing.
Yeah, we did a graphical timeline sort of video with
So
Ro-
freaking cool. What a
production,
kick-ass video that was.
Yeah.
together with Roby. Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Got a
Yeah,
really
no,
good
you-
reaction.
Can you post the
Have to-
link to that?
Got the link for that,
yes,
Steve?
yes, I'll try and find that during the meeting. I'm rubbish at stuff like that, but I will.
Steve, I-
Yeah.
I will say one of the most brilliant things you came up with is that synergy shit. That is mind blowing to me.
Thank you, man. That really makes me happy to hear, because that's a sort of, I'm not a gambler, but that's like the biggest gamble I've taken in my life to buy that video technology. That was over.
Well, I don't
$1
know. Launching a $60,000 console during COVID is a pretty big deal, I'd say too.
Well,
So.
you'd
Well,
think so.
I mean, I will
Eating
tell
a poisonous frog or whatever you did, you know, that's a
Marcel,
pretty big gamble.
Marcel, before we bought the video company, it was about $1 million. My son was asking about it, and he's saying, you know, how does it really work? And I said, you know, to be honest, I got no idea how it bloody works. You know, you're spending more than you spend on anything in your life. But yeah, just the thought that this is all going to come together, I'm so convinced about it that you know, and I'm still on that track. So Matt, I'd love to hear you, because I think it's
Yeah,
very
no,
early.
and
And I have
especially
to-
the way you, and the
Yeah.
way you guys handle the fixtures, like
Yeah.
with the fixture, it has the built-in pixel map for the fixture, so that you can easily, like when you're running effects, there's that button that's like from center out, from top to bottom, to left to right. Like the console knows what the pixel map of each individual fixture is. So embedding that into the profiles is brilliant.
Yeah. Thanks.
By the way, I
And
have to
it has to be
compliment
easy.
Chris Asen on his multiple camera angles today.
I don't know if it's gonna die. We have Santa Ana wins, so I did it with my iPad just to be safe.
Oh,
It has to be
Funny.
really easy. I have to say, Greg, you're two things. I see us as shoulder to shoulder with Martin in terms of the way Martin has P3 enabled everything, so that all of their fixtures can be treated like video pixels. And I think it's a very, very similar direction. You know, is that you should be able to drive this as lights or video or who cares, as long as it's visual, you should be able to drive it from one control system. And I think Martin are on the same track. But Greg, I have to take my hat off to your launch. That whole way that launch was done, and the scheduled demos and the way it was promoted. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
"Damn,
killer."
these guys
Yeah,
are doing
we're-
it really well.
There's a lot of long hours leading up to that, but you know,
Really
it's
impressive.
we'd still prefer in person, and that's going to happen at the end of this month. And that to me is getting back to quote unquote normal. Everything up to this point has been extremely abnormal. Many of you were on calls, and Marcia, and that was the first time, you know, you launch a product via friggin' Zoom. It was crazy. So
And actually, our video guys at CT were interested in the lighting product. I think that's a first.
It's been a whole year of Virgin experiences all across the board, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
It's
of
just-
speaking of live events, so I don't know if I assume everyone got the LDI, or who's LDI's parent company now? Sorry,
SDX.
Helen.
WestX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The survey from them about live and virtual events, and live mixed with virtual events and all that stuff. I mean, I for one pretty much shit canned the virtual events and said, "Come on, let's just have a trade show. Come on, let's do this."
I
So-
will say that I'm holding back on LDI, because with my luck, and I'm not complaining, like I will book everything for LDI and then get a gig and then lose all my deposit money, which
But if you book it, you'll guarantee you'll have a job.
Share a
sure.
room with Harry.
Yeah.
Share a room with Harry.
Murphy's
oh,
Law.
please, no.
God knows he won't get a
Absolutely
gig.
true.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope LDI happens, especially with all this new shit coming out. And, you know, I think this is obviously a sign of things to come where manufacturers are going, oh, it's okay to launch product now. Let's go. You know, I think we're going to see a lot of
Well,
new
do you
stuff.
think that, do you think some of those products were ready for ProLight and Sound, which was then canceled, so they're being launched virtually?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, you're spot on. I mean, the Mac Ultra original launch was going to be at LDI and ProLight, and then without those being gone, we had no choice. We're not going to hold a product for a year.
Right.
The pause button wasn't an option, so you're spot on.
Right. Good.
Ellen, what's the manufacturer? You know, are people signing up for LDI now? Like what?
Yeah, you could, I think you can go online and look at the floor plan. It may be live at this point.
Can you link us?
LDIshow.com.
Yeah.
No, well, okay, all right.
Right, Alan?
Yep, LDIshow.com.
Where do you find the floor plan in this?
Let's see if it went live. They told me.
Oh, there we
it's
go.
a link.
Exhibit hall.
Google that shit, Kaminsky.
There you go. Floor plan.
I found it.
Right.
And Matt, by the way, I did the same thing. I booked my hotel and stuff, and I know I'm going to be host.
You know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Is Infocom a go?
Yes.
Yeah,
They
because
say it is.
I
Yes.
haven't read it yet, but I got an email yesterday saying, hey, do you want a Geezers of Gear thing again for Infocom? Because I go there and just get a little room, and I think a few of you have done it with me, but I record a whole bunch of podcasts in a few days of the show. I really don't even get to walk the show much or anything, but they asked me if I want to do it again. So I was like, oh, you're having a show.
Yeah, no, they have a website and
Aren't they
everything.
aren't they in Orlando in October?
Yes, like the third week of October.
Yeah.
Right. And then like NAB is in October in Vegas. And we're in
Cool.
November in Vegas. And
Well, Sally,
IAP
you
is in
get the-
November. And
Yeah, it's a big mashup
Orlando.
of trade shows.
Is
Yeah.
it?
You walk the LDI floor at the last show. I think you were slaved on the booth.
Who,
the whole-
me? No, I
Yeah.
didn't. No, I didn't. I think I went out and walked around for like 30 minutes at one point, and that was it. I was stuck in that little room that I was in, that closet behind registration. But oh no, LDI, we had a good room. We had a huge room. It was Infocom, I think, where I was behind registration. But the other thing is, like, I saw Ellen posted earlier on the We Make Events thing, the Red Rocks has shows. They're reopening starting in April, and it's up to 2,500 people. I think that's going to probably go up after that. What, Fedo? You're saying no?
I talked to Nancy yesterday. She said she doesn't think anything's going to happen in April, but May. But they're limiting the
Okay.
crowd to 2,500.
Yeah. Well, I went on their site. I actually have it open right now, and they've got a bunch of shows in May, end of May, like probably third
Yeah.
week of May.
Yeah.
When they,
That's
or
not so
April.
bad,
I'm
though.
sorry, April.
Oh,
Third week
maybe
of
the
April.
end of April. I don't know, but they're not.
Yeah.
They've blown off stuff in the beginning of April that they had.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it shows right now. It shows stuff happening. Small acts, like stuff I haven't even heard of, which doesn't mean
Yeah, it's
anything,
because
but-
of the 2,500
yeah.
people max. You know, they can't put
But then they
anybody.
get into, like, I think in June they've got Chicago, and they've got Foreigner, and they're getting into some bigger shows. So maybe they're anticipating opening that up a bit by then. And I think some of the bands are probably taking a chance on it.
I was talking to my buddy who does monitors for Styx, and he said they have stuff in the books for May.
Yeah, we got the auto shows confirmed again with new dates. We also got Comic-Con, the auto shows, Chicago, LA, New York.
When?
I can't tell you yet. They're going to announce it this week. And we also
Okay.
got Comic-Con confirmed for
Ellen,
November.
you guys need a key to symbols on this ground plan here.
what do you mean?
Like colors. What are they? I obviously know that like cream means it's confirmed because I can see like
Well, I
the
think green. Yeah, one of the, I don't know. You know what? I'll find
green. It
out.
says
think
I guess
green is-
green is reserved.
Yeah, green is reserved and blue is available.
Got it. So so for instance, high-end systems, are they gonna have like a high-end systems booth, or is it gonna be ETC?
I imagine it's part of ETC.
Don't they kind of do two booths next to each other?
Well, I mean,
I
high-end.
don't know, they
booth is
did the
usually-
last time, I don't sell the floor,
Yeah.
but I can find out.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious because the ETC booths are pretty small, and then you look at like Roby, which is a pretty large scale. They have a 40 by
High end was
50.
pretty big at the last LDI. I mean, they were
No,
part of
high end-
ETC, but they looked really good.
Yeah, and they were in a completely different area from ETC.
Oh, were they? I thought they were in the same booth.
No, they were across the aisle from you.
Oh, I was thinking the year before. Never mind.
Can I ask all of you, because, Infocom is 3 weeks prior. Ellen, I mean, is there any concern with that, right? So we have Orlando with Infocom, and then 3 weeks later, LDI.
Believe it or not, there's not all that much overlap in attendees.
Yeah, but I mean, for us exhibitors, that's a back-to-back for those choosing to do both, you know what I'm saying? Or somehow splitting up, even just booth, sometimes getting things struck and then shipped to Vegas for load-in.
Oh,
Maybe-
Stop whining.
We've had worse.
Greg.
We've had worse, Greg. Come on.
Jesus,
Greg, you got
come
plenty
on.
of here.
Oh,
two
all
trade
this business at once. How am I gonna do this? Oh
Yeah.
my God. I haven't seen
No,
a
it's
customer in a
called-
freaking year and a half. So you don't want to see him like 3 weeks in a row or whatever? Come on.
Marcel will drive your truck from Orlando to Vegas.
Yeah, get the stuff from UK with the longshoreman strike with 3 weeks. Yeah, that's an
Yeah, there
impossible.
you
Hey,
go.
Greg, it's called endurance. We got to build it back up again.
No, I understand the truth for I understand the crossover integration versus the pro side,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is LDI, but just in terms of, logistics, it's a tight window.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, thanks for not putting all the atmospheric companies in the same area. Much appreciated.
Hey, Greg, if you need help, just let us know.
Got it. Some of you guys are into logistics, do well at it. Not Chris, but the rest of you.
Oh, whatever. Our company does. Come on.
Yeah. So what
Mark,
else?
you-
There was something
Hey,
else from
Chris,
the UK
have
that
you
I saw.
heard-
Sorry.
Well,
What was in the
Plaza's-
UK?
Plaza's
They
doing a
did
show with
that, the UK did that
September.
practice show with 5,000 people.
Oh no, the one I was talking about was this freaking virtual show that Glastonbury is
Oh,
a live stream at the location.
Oh,
They've
that breaks
canceled
my
the
heart.
festival
I'm glad
and
I've missed that.
yeah, they've canceled the festival, but they're doing a live thing with Coldplay and a whole bunch of
Oh, okay.
acts that are playing a 5-hour
They
thing, May
sell tickets for
22nd.
that?
Steve,
No,
you're gonna have to lick your frogs at home.
Oh my God. Look, I'm such a regular I've been going every year since 95, man. And I heard something about that and I think I just switched off.
There will be no acid at the pyramid stage for you this year.
Exactly. How can a live stream replace that? Sit at
Yeah.
home with a tab and
No, that's what
cross the
I'm
leg.
saying.
Pick your favorite Massive Attack record and just kick back with a frog.
Trip out.
Yeah.
1975. Here we go.
I'm not saying that isn't a good idea, but yeah, as well as, not instead of.
Hey, Chris, I was curious. Have you heard anything from Imagination?
I hear from them every day.
Cool, because they closed up so many offices that like New York is non-existent anymore.
Yeah, we deal with them every day at Detroit for Ford.
Cool. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because I did that CES booth for them.
yeah, they're basically all in Detroit right now.
Got it. It was funny when I was doing Fashion Week last September. They actually had check-in at the old Imagination offices, and I was like, "I've been in here before." Oh, right. Okay. It was empty. It was like it was crazy.
They downsized and got everybody working from the house. Most of them are still there, but it's downscaled by far.
Yeah, I got to hit them up again, see if anything's happening.
Oh, the auto shows are coming.
I'll do it.
Don't ask for a hog from me again.
No, never. I'll just get I'll get Hubie to program for me.
See, I was the one that hooked you up. We're
Man,
good.
he did the Ford booth for me at CES. He's amazing. I love
I know
working
he
with him.
is. That's why he works for me.
Was he good? I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, he's doing some jobs for us.
Cool, cool.
I mean, it sure feels like a lot of stuff is starting to happen.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, which is
Yeah.
pretty exciting. I talked to Wiseman a few days ago, and he was on his way to LA again for like the third week in a row or something. And he said, "Dude, I don't know what to tell you, but shit is happening." And
Yeah, it's coming
you know,
fast. It's coming real
nonstop
fast.
meetings. A lot of big acts are starting to talk about going out now, like as quickly as possible.
So are we about to have a labor shortage?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask everyone what you thought of that article the other day about you know, in the, what was it, the Times or something?
Wall
Or the
Street
Post?
Journal. or something.
Yeah, Wall Street Journal. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, about the fact that we're not going to get anybody back because they're all working at Amazon and stuff. I don't believe that.
I don't think it's anybody. I think it's like the really skilled guys that'll hop on a truss at 55 feet and just run across it like they're walking down the street. Like my fear is that we're gonna lose some very skilled workers, and we're gonna have that learning curve where load-ins won't be 4 hours; they might be 6 hours now. You know,
Well, do
it just-
you,
I feel
Matt? Do
like-
you know anyone who said they're not coming back to the industry?
I do.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I mean, I know theater people.
Yeah.
And I've been,
because
I
on our
actually was
business,
just,
I don't know anyone.
yeah, I mean, I was talking to a couple of my guitar, like guitar tech friends, and the guitar tech for Alice in Chains, who does Will. He's been employed by the Red Hot Chili Peppers since January of last year. They've been in the studio this entire time working on new material, and he's like, I've been paid really well this entire pandemic. So
We have the younger kids is what we're losing. The ones that we had halfway through the training stuff in the shop is the ones we're losing.
Yeah, that I can understand.
Yeah, and the
Truck
some of
drivers,
the
I could
smaller-
understand.
Yeah, some of the smaller guys that we would put as second or third on a job, you know, they want to bail. They've got other jobs.
I have some friends who are production electricians that moved into the IT world.
Yeah.
I talked to them recently and they said, I'm making the same money. I'm working Monday through Friday, weekends off. I don't work nights. I know what day it is. I'm not constantly exhausted. Why would I go back?
Wham.
Yeah.
That's the most boring.
No,
thing I've
that's
ever heard.
Yeah, who wants to
That's
do
a
all
really
that?
interesting point. I was going to say that's a really interesting point. There have been a lot of articles and webcasts about, you know, no more 10 out of 12s, and you know, people are trying to like keep
Well.
this life work balance, and you know that, you know, it's no badge of honor to be exhausted and overworked and underpaid, and you know,
I feel
don't take
that 10
unpaid
out of-
always gonna come
internship.
back.
that 10 out of 12 thing, I don't know. I have a huge, I mean, you grow up in theater, 10 out of 12s were always a thing. I mean, Herrick, feel free to disagree with me on this.
I know, but does it have to be?
It
But
doesn't have to
where are
be,
you going to
but
gain that time, especially in regional theater? They're not going to add two
They're
more
gonna-
days of tech.
They're going to
you know?
sacrifice quality, and if everybody sacrifices quality, then the final audience won't notice. We'll know.
But we're working 10
But
or
if they
12
can't
days?
afford to
That's-
do it
that's
right,
nothing.
why are they doing it?
Well, it's to me, like in the regional theaters that I was designing, you know, the show would go down on a Saturday night. Sunday would, you know, Saturday night, all night strike, load in Sunday, focus Monday, tech Tuesday, Wednesday, first preview Thursday. I mean, that's always the way it's been. And now you're getting rid of 10 out of 12. So you're going to do what, an 8 out of 10, which means, and I can tell you in a 10 out of 12, usually you get through act 1, depending on the show. If it's like if it's a straight play, it's easier. But if it's a musical like Peter and the Starcatcher, that's, I mean,
I have a question. What the hell is
Crazy.
a 10 out of 12?
you work 10 out of 12 hours. So
Well,
You're on site for 12
Hang on.
hours except for
So
your
I'm
break.
I'm a 12 out of 12. What does that make me?
Yeah, but
It means you didn't
Retarded?
eat.
Underpaid?
but actually, to be clear, what
Your
we're really talking
salary.
about, from the design standpoint is you're tied. So 10 out of 12 refers to Actors Equity Union, which is the actors and the stage managers. So they can be in at 10 a.m. You're in the door at 10 a.m. Actors are on stage, if you're lucky, 45 minutes later with costume and maybe makeup. And at 10 p.m., everybody's out the door, or there's like massive overtime and repercussions and all that stuff, like any good union. But for designers, That means you're in the door at 8 a.m. dealing with
Yeah,
your
great.
electricians, dealing with minor focus notes, getting set up, dealing with the notes that you had from a production meeting the night before that didn't get your ass out the door until midnight. So really, it's a
Right. If a day isn't 14 or 16 hours, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, usually.
No,
for
but
me,
is it
was-
is it that 10 out of 12 hours and then you start paying overtime or something?
No, you.
10 out of 12 refers to the equity rule.
It's all equity rules, and like they
Oh,
can
I
work
get it.
they can work a certain amount of hours a week. And if you go over that, you need to basically borrow hours from another day. So if you, and then
I'm
you
going to
have-
start to build that rule into just
luck.
my position in our company, not any of the other ones.
We're a union, Marcel.
Yeah, they do it in the auto shows all the time to us, all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
But I mean, it
especially in
just,
this way.
it doesn't, I mean, when it comes to actors, it's tiring for them to stand on stage and be markers and go through things.
Oh, I can tell that must be exhausting.
You know, look, they're meat puppets, but we love them. But it's a thing, and yeah, it's a quality of life thing. And from what Matt's right, from my point of view, it's stuff that we've grown up with. And when I went into theater, I knowingly went into it partially because it's great. I look forward to those weeks. It's a little bit crazy. I stock up on Red Bull or Mountain Dew or whatever I'm poisoning myself with that week, and you just get through it. But it also it's a time of being so focused and so creative, and it's unachievable if you're like, oh, we're going to work 5 hours today and then I'll see you tomorrow. Go home and walk the dog.
I mean, it affects lighting the most because sound designers can design their stuff in their studio. You know, the set has already been designed, the costumes have already been designed. Where we do our art is at tech. So in theory,
Also the stage managers when they're practicing combining everybody.
but they're putting their book together and getting all the cues. Yeah, but like for
And
us
it's rock and
creating
roll.
our, but for
You know.
us creating our art, we get to do it in a very truncated amount of time. You know, it's like, it's not drawing the plot, it's turning the lights on and painting that scene.
Right. But
And
the
if you're
music industry
cutting our
has the
time
same
out,
the number, the number of stories I've heard about the Butch Allen 36-hour days, it's the same. It's sort of the same thing. It's just whether you want it to be self-inflicted or not. You can mitigate it maybe a little bit more in the music industry, or maybe not, depending on what you've gotten yourself into.
I remember, with Martin or whatever, when we would show up at the booth at 9:30 in the morning for the show to open, and Chris Asen would be vacuuming the carpet, and he was up
Shut up.
programming all night.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
He's like, "Don't worry, Marcel, I'll get it done. Just make sure I got enough Jägermeister." And he'd be there programming the show in the booth till like 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Of course.
I will say that like us in rock and roll, we've been using Previs for a while.
Yeah.
That has been trickling into theater. And I feel like now with, COVID and everything, a lot more lighting designers and programmers in the theater world have been adapting to Previs. So there is that time where you can build those rough cues, get your structure in, whatever. So you're not creating from scratch, which is great.
Yep.
But it's not the same because you're dealing with skin tones, you're dealing with costumes, you're dealing with intricacies that you don't necessarily need to play with in rock and roll. Whereas in theater, 5% intensity matters. Whereas
But
in rock and roll,
also-
not
but
so
the
much.
The
Previs,
choreographer,
yeah.
standing in front of your booms, right? Like this choreographer is suddenly like decided to move stuff. It just because everybody's adapting once they see stuff on stage, and there's 9 different voices who all can make a decision at any time. So it's not.
Yeah. But it does save you a good amount of time, even for what we do for corporate stuff. We're ahead of the game before we roll in.
You have a
So
sense.
we're saving quite a bit of time.
Yeah, and all Previs can shave your hours on site if you are any one of these kinds of teams. But for me, I mean, I want to send all my teams to Previs till the cows come home so they walk in prepared. But for me, the value of a 16-hour day is getting my first crew in for their 10-hour minimums, no overtime, and then they stagger to the next crew. So the riggers are in first, and then they just leave behind one guy while the scenic guys are putting in that thing that needs to fly tomorrow morning. And so for me, the ability to stagger crews based on their shorter 10 hour this, 12 hour that, 8 hour, whatever. Everybody's got their own rules by, by company and by union. So to me, if I can only do a single shift, an 8 hour span, I've gotten almost nothing accomplished because I've got one crew in, just enough to get the other crew started, and then they have to leave because they could only fit in 4 hours before the day's over. I need 16 hours to get a show halfway in, or a quarter of the way in, or a third of the way in, so it's ready for the next day.
It's just going to drastically shift. I mean, luckily, a lot of summer stocks, 75% of summer stocks are not equity, but those equity summer stock theaters are really going to get screwed if equity adapts these rules.
Yeah, and just wait until they pressure you to add more people too. We're starting to see this for the auto show pre stuff.
Yeah.
They're saying, well, what we did last year with 8 people, they want 10 now.
But in the same amount of time with the same objectives?
Exactly.
Now you've got spacing between people. How does 10 work?
I don't know. They're asking for, when we asked for 8, we asked for 6 last year. Or last time, not last year, but they gave us 8. We agreed. We got it done. Now they're asking for 10 when we're asking for 8.
Who's they?
The unions.
Now, is that COVID protocol? Because they're saying you have to socially distance and you need.
I don't know if it's that or just.
They're just strong arming.
Yeah.
Or they know
what's on your arm.
Out of work here and they're trying to get people busy.
Yeah, I think so as well. What Henrik said, they're just trying to keep the whole entire group going.
Right, and if that means if Chrysler can afford that, or or cut out a little bit of their whiz bang, or bring two fewer cars onto the show, then that's a choice Chrysler should make. It shouldn't fall to your company to make that choice, right?
Well, we're in the middle, so yeah.
Well, yeah. but yeah, you are in the middle, but ultimately it should be the end user that's paying that price. It is, we all have been out of work for a year, and it's like, I know I'm not lowering my rates for a client who's like, oh, it's been a rough year financially. It's like, yeah, it has. And
yeah, there's a lot of talk about that. I had that conversation with a couple of designers this week, one of whom is on the call right now, and I feel like it could go either way.
It's mad,
I think quality experienced people are still going to be heavily sought after as these shows start coming out, and I don't think it's a name your price situation, but you're not going to get beat up, I don't think. I mean,
don't take a haircut just to get the work.
I'm like Herrick. I feel like the labor numbers, like my design fee isn't changing, but like when it comes to gear, it's gonna try to be pushing to get the most amount of shit for the least amount of money, as it's always been. But where you have like pre-COVID, you had those, all right, like I'll eat that $5,000. Like you're gonna have management being like, nope, you got to cut $5,000 worth of shit. It's just, that's the way it's gonna be. I feel like labor will be the same. I feel like the gear rentals will be cheaper.
But also, if they're coming to you and they've got like, acrobats on stage and they're serving filet mignon for $3,000, then you got to be like, well, maybe, get rid of one of those appetizers and do the show right.
Yeah.
And I won't tell them that, but they've got to, cuts should come from not labor, not the people who've been starving. Although, I'm sure the caterer is happy to make one more appetizer for 3,000 people too.
Yeah, but like in rock and roll, all the guarantees are going to be lower and all that coming out of this. And, I think it's going to kind of be in a little bit of, everybody's going to have to take a haircut across the board.
Well, the guarantees are getting cheap. The guarantees are getting less because, no offense to whoever's watching this, but Live Nation and AEG, they're just trying to get their coffers full again, even though they really haven't taken that much of a hit. They've been holding on to, hardworking American people's money because they
what do you mean they haven't taken a hit?
Yeah, they've taken a massive hit.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
They have the 800.
Oh my god!
They lost billions. They lost billions, though, Matt.
But they've definitely taken the highest it has ever been.
Understood.
That's not cash.
Stock is not reflective of actual company value.
Exactly. Stock and profitability do not align. Look at Amazon as an example. So I mean,
or
Live Nation. Live Nation has done very well because they cut a lot of people. They raised money from the Saudis. They did some things that were really smart, and their investors rewarded them by driving the stock up higher, right? So it doesn't mean they've been profitable, though. They've lost tons of money.
Matt, I just came from a meeting with some Live Nation people.
Yeah.
I can assure you they're hemorrhaging money out their ass right now.
Yeah.
Trust me. No,
But I mean,
there's
the
no
good news
smoke
is
and
they're
mirrors
back
here.
at full staff now, right? Tomorrow, April 1st. Is it
April
tomorrow?
1st, right?
Yeah.
I would just say, like, if
They're
people
starting
want
to
their-
hire back tomorrow.
No,
I would
full
just say if
staff.
people,
It said.
No, they're starting.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
gonna ramp
really?
up over the next 2 months, yeah.
And they're
Ramp
only-
up
Oh,
over 2
okay.
months.
I read it.
I
So
don't just-
AEG is
I
only
just
paying
don't like their-
50%.
I just don't like their refund policy. Like, if people
No,
want
that's
their money
bullshit.
back for
No,
a
no, no.
show that was canceled, give them their fucking money back.
No,
you know?
and let Patrick tell him the news. Tell the news again one more time, Patrick, because I know it as well. What is their pay rate?
Yeah, so AEG is only paying like 25 to 50% of the salaries. So that is smoke and mirrors. So they're not hiring people back at their full rate. They're paying them 50%.
What?
True story.
Until when?
Yes. You don't know, your news source doesn't have that when in Fantasyland where the Live Nation earnings reports come out? Come on, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing the lower percentage of your salary, but still trying to give you your full benefits.
Yeah, so they
So-
look like they're hiring everybody
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
They have a timeline on restoring that?
Negative.
Yeah.
That
It's
would not be
all-
good for the stock price.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, the
They gotta learn
guarantee
how to
thing,
play this
so-
game.
I think I
doesn't
mentioned this
seem
a couple
fair.
of weeks ago, but I had Larry Richter on my podcast, and he's a promoter, and he's promoting smaller venues, smaller acts. You know, he does the Chicagos and the Styx and the REO Speedwagons of the world, and he basically is writing deals like crazy right now for acts to come into his venues, independent promoter, and on his deals though, basically if he can only sell 50% capacity, your deal is at 50%. If he can only sell 25% capacity, your deal's at 25%. So, you know, that's his deals just are going with whatever the reality of the economics on the deal are, which makes sense.
they
I
doing-
mean, not
are
everybody's going to
they
sign up
doing-
for that, but it makes sense.
Marcel, is this something that is a flat guarantee or is he doing like a versus deal?
Yeah, that's my question.
You'd have to listen to my podcast to get the answer because I forget.
Yeah,
I
I'm curious
honestly
if it's a door deal or like a guarantee, like that. I'm curious.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's a guarantee. But it's based on it's not based on sales. It's based on what he's allowed to sell.
No, my point with that is that like if you're on a tour and you're trying to do the budget, if you're doing versus deals, that means that, you know, half of them could be at zero and the other half are you know, 50%
No,
or under.
it's not. That's
So
not
if
it.
it's
No,
That's cool.
basically all it is it's based on regulation. So if, for example, he's booking you in a venue in Los Angeles County where they think it's going to be at 75% by that date, but it gets cut and the governor says you can only do 45%, your deal gets cut accordingly.
Got it.
So it's amendable to day of capacity. Basically.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
an open-ended deal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, you know, not everybody's willing to do that, but the sort of mid to small acts are totally gung ho with it because they need to get out and play.
Well, my curiosity would be, are we going to see larger scale shows like the Justin Timberlakes, or are we going to see like smaller club shows? Like what is going to be a bigger influx of?
We have this conversation like every week. I mean, honestly, the stadiums aren't going to be used until 22. They're going to start trying to do stuff in August, September, according to everybody, and we'll see.
Well, I mean,
I think again the challenge continues to be putting it together. So, you know, Justin Timberlake could go out and do an arena tour, but he'd have to go to Florida and then Texas and then maybe, you know, Colorado and then some other state. You can't put together a feasible tour in full capacity arenas yet. Bye, Lynn.
Sounds like arenas need rep plots.
Well,
just saying.
That's what, do you think that the acts will then, when their money gets reduced, that they'll ask the vendors to follow along?
That's exactly what's going to happen. Designers won't have like the multi-million-dollar budgets to do these big shows. You're gonna see 25% of your normal budgets from 2019.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We've seen
I don't
bigger
know.
budgets actually.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
either
know.
that or you're gonna be touring with BL3Ks.
There's a big appetite for ticket sales right now for people to buy tickets to go see shows. There's a
It
big
doesn't mean-
appetite for it.
It's not going to reflect though in like the tour budgets because everyone needs to, get their nut, and especially the bands. Like the bands
Yeah, but you
are going
can't
to say,
you
like,
can't go out and shit the bed with a bad show with B staff, and I just don't see it. I don't know. We'll
there are
see.
some artists that don't. There are some artists that care, and there's some artists that don't care. Like put them under white light, like Shea Stadium and the Beatles. Like they don't give a fuck. They just want to play.
That's
I think that
unfortunate.
I think that nobody's also talking about the other elephant in the room, which is that of shipping both personnel and gear around with the price of gas skyrocketing. So there's going to be another level of finance that this industry has not seen in the last.
Wait till you go to
10
Europe, Patrick.
Years.
Fuck, I mean, a European tour will crush you.
Yeah, and that was back in '98.
I mean, I don't know, Chris, or any of you guys, have you been following what's going to be the new rules? It's still the 48 hours out of the country with the gear.
Yeah,
I hear that's
Fuck, man.
Well,
hear that's-
fortunately, we have CT in multiple locations in Europe, so we can do that shift. But
Yes, we know
I
Chris
can't
Mason is
imagine
completely
trying-
immune to this. But
I
what about
can't
the rest of the
imagine
industry?
trying to take it though. I can't imagine trying to ship it from here.
No,
to
I
there.
mean, yeah, the new laws and then, you're doubling up on drivers where you didn't need to, you had to on some of them. But I mean, the expenses to tour anywhere in Europe right now, unbelievable.
I heard, and Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that the UK government is actually trying to work out this visa thing. Like they said it was with the Brexit thing, they effed up and they're trying to get it so touring, you don't need a visa to tour in Europe.
But I'm still not hearing any development on that. I mean, there's lots of discussion about it, and the government trying to appease us by saying they're looking at it, but I don't see any good news coming out of it.
We just heard from the Fly By Night folks that they took like half their trailers and put them in Europe, and that you're going to have to dump your trailers completely to transfer. Like you won't even be able to leave your attic built to get stuff back and forth.
Really?
Like, yeah, they're going to have to completely change the gear, the equipment going because of Brexit.
So
And-
basically,
I
like,
didn't know.
you go to Belgium or whatever, you get off the ferry and you cross load.
Yeah, you're going to have to UK tours are going to have to be scheduled just to do the UK dates and then get out. There's no more like overnighters into London and back to
You don't
Paris
think they'll
or-
figure this out though?
I think they will.
They're a
'Cause that's gonna
mess
be a-
over there.
It always sounds worst, and it always sounds the worst in the beginning, and then all of a sudden everything kind of goes, oh, okay, we fixed it.
Yeah,
But
they
haven't we
need,
had a couple of
they
years
need the
figured
income.
out?
They need the income. Come on.
Yeah. What'd you say, Ellen?
I was just saying they've been working on it for
Oh,
a year or two to
whoever just
figure it
said
out,
that, sorry.
and they haven't gotten very far.
Yeah, but there
That's
hasn't
starting to
been,
sound like Ellen.
there hasn't been a need, a real need for it. Now they have a need for it coming up, so they'll figure it out, I'm sure.
So Chris, for
Same time,
CT,
Diana and Chris, they did the whatever they pushed that deal right till the end of what was it, like 2 days away from the final date that already been put back. I mean, there's a lot of sort of gamesmanship here as well, isn't there? As you say, sort of posturing. And so like you, Marcel, I'd like to think that they will come up at the last minute.
I think so.
Because it's such
hey, Chris Asen, so are you able to bring gear into like London from other countries, and then because you guys have a hub there as well, or how is that working?
What we're doing right now is we pretty much have stuff spread across Europe, Asia, of course, America, and we're just using what we have there. So if we have to adjust, we adjust.
Oh, I got you.
As of now, we haven't done full shipments from one side to the other yet.
I guess my question would be like, what would happen with companies like Negearth and NTech and stuff like that? Because their big thing is they get tours in the UK and then their gear just goes all through Europe.
And the
so like,
US.
what's going to happen with these companies?
Yeah, but doesn't Negearth
problem? So they're absolutely freaking out.
Not
Because
anymore.
European companies looking at setting up in the UK now, just so that they can do the whole tour, including the UK.
Yeah, isn't Negerth a part of one of the German guys like ProLights or ProTech? Is that what it is?
Wow.
It
Not
was
only
no,
that,
PRG.
they've had different collaborations in the past. I mean, they used to do a lot of stuff with C Factor back in the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
Upstaging.
upstaging in Negerth, right?
Yeah,
Upstaging.
upstaging.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Negerth is
Right.
independent.
But didn't Four-Wall buy a company in the EU, or
Yeah,
was
they
it the
did.
UK?
they bought HSL. They bought HSL in the UK. I
Yeah.
don't know about Europe. They may have done another one as well.
No,
You
What
might
about
see-
white lights?
No, just HSL.
Right. Yeah.
You might see some US companies buying companies in Europe now.
Yeah. That would make sense.
I don't think so. I think
I don't think so. I hope not.
you know, I know Jeff Mateer's here. He could probably confirm or deny, but I don't think it's been an extremely positive experience for Four-Wall so far. So it's tough, man. I have a European office and I've been paying VAT and European taxes and European bills on all kinds of crazy shit over there. And it is not easy doing business as a US company in Europe. It's very
We
difficult.
love our UK taxes, man. We look at your
It's
taxes,
brutal.
you just think, are you serious? I mean,
No, but I
Jesus,
mean,
it's
just
like-
fees, like the accounting and the accounting costs and just all the regulation and stuff that we have to pay in Europe is so it's not worth doing business in Europe. I mean, now our
Well,
business is
myself,
really
for a
growing in
start,
Europe, but
the tax year runs from 5th of April. Who the hell would
Yeah.
have a tax year in the middle of the completely random? Duh. Every time I look at your tax year running Christmas to running whatever, first of the year to the end of the year, you're like, what a crazy idea that is.
Our accountants really hate it when we've been doing stuff in CTLA for CT UK, and the billing going back and forth has been a disaster. I mean, they hate
it's
it.
a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's a huge pain in the ass. Nook, what's going on with your arm, man?
I broke it 35 years ago and never got it set right. So and I finally
right.
got 2 months off to go get it broken and fixed. And
Right. I remember we
years
talked
of
about that a few
arthritis
weeks ago.
built up. Yeah, it's all good now.
Yeah.
I feel good.
How long are you laid up for, Nook?
A couple months. It's fine. I type one-handed, it's not the first thing I've done one-handed.
But how do you
so
roll? How do you roll?
I don't, man. I have to use a pipe. It's fucking embarrassing.
Jesus.
Just
You
get some
degenerate.
pre-roll.
You
get some
fucking
cones.
degenerate.
Still not
Yeah,
legal here.
pre-rolls, man. That's the way to go.
No, just do cones, Nook.
Hey, Marcia Stern, you can move back to New York now. Pot's legal here.
Right.
Yeah,
Actually,
it got
I'm on my
signed.
way end of April, so, I've
All
already
right.
got a house to live in.
Excellent.
Just get ready to pay a
Yeah,
fuck ton in
what about-
taxes.
What about Mrs. Nook? Haven't you trained her to roll a joint yet?
No, that's why I'm in the basement. I like the smell.
He doesn't know he smokes pot.
He was the one that banished him to the pothole to begin with.
Yeah. That had to be the
Established
funniest
that in week
moment.
3.
That had to be
Yeah.
the funniest moment of any of these happy hour things was when Wiseman goes, Nook, are you in the fucking basement?
Yeah.
Come upstairs, Nook. It's okay. It's legal now.
I'm gonna be outside soon. It's up to like 41 degrees here.
Balmy. You
Damn.
should be wearing shorts.
People are wearing shorts. All those like crazy people,
Yeah,
upstaging employees, they all fucking wear shorts 12 months a year. I don't
I
get it.
know. They're crazy.
It's crazy. I was designing a theater show up in Maine, and my master electrician, it was a blizzard, and it dumped 3 feet of snow, and he was walking around in shorts. I was like, you're fucking insane.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
I know from like Wisconsin or Minnesota, that's a point of pride with them.
Yeah,
Hey, Nook, speaking of upstaging in shorts, did you see that picture of Hud and Donnie in like short jean cutoff shorts
Oh yeah, those are like the old basketball shorts that the
from like 40
Knox
years
would
ago or
wear.
something?
Yeah, from 40 years ago. But no, none of the cool kids, you cut off your jeans and stuff.
That's what
back in the 70s.
weren't they weren't cutoffs? I thought they were.
Nah, those were like basketball shorts
Oh,
where one of your
oh.
balls is hanging out. Either way, yeah, there was like hot pants for men.
Good tip.
Yeah, that was a funny
Oh.
picture. So what else is news? Nothing.
Is
everybody
EDC
vaccinated?
gonna happen? What's the?
So,
what's
I
the
actually got
line
confirmation
on
today.
EDC
Oh,
happening?
so then everybody talks at once. Beto was first. What'd you say, Mark?
What's the line on EDC actually happening in May here in Vegas? I
Didn't
don't
that
think
get
it's gonna
canceled?
happen.
Didn't that get canceled?
No,
Not
it's
yet.
so you say it's happening, but I think it's gonna get pushed.
They're
I
that was-
think it's
still
gonna get
asking-
postponed.
Apparently,
You
they're
didn't-
still asking for permission.
You have to send a letter to the state saying why you can do this outside of the rules and regs. And then the state has to approve and send you back your letter. That's what they're waiting for. But they also have alternate dates scheduled in case they can't do it.
Is Andrew still here?
No, he left.
No, he left.
He's
What
got
are the alternate
got
dates?
stuff
Do you
going on.
know?
Sometime
I'm
in
not
October.
sure.
So it's in
Yeah.
October.
Yeah,
Isn't Life is Beautiful happening?
in October,
Yeah.
same month.
And
So
somebody announced another festival in Vegas with Billie Eilish in September.
I think that's Life is Beautiful.
Yeah, that's Life is
Oh,
Beautiful.
okay.
I
I
think it's
think that's October
Does it move?
for Life is Beautiful. But they both, I mean, both of them are already sold out.
Sounds like
You know,
October is going to be
It was
insane.
150,000 people.
Yeah,
And
it will
so
be.
is that a money grab by, Insomniac? To get the, at $300 a ticket, $45 million, and then you don't have to give it back if they postpone?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Comic Con took tickets this week for November.
Yeah.
Okay, Ellen, that means we got to cancel InfoComm. No one should go to InfoComm and just go to Vegas.
Okay.
Stay there
so-
for the month.
Yeah, that's too many events for Greg in like a 1 month span. Greg,
He has
Greg
to
needs
ease
some
back
relaxing
into
time
show
in between.
mode.
We can help you, Greg.
Yeah, the camels can't get his gear from one place to the other in that time.
Exactly.
Eric,
Oh.
Mark's
Where's the
keeping a
Eric
trailer for
Loader?
me and taking in his vet, so he's.
we just need the Eric Loader iPad on the
Yeah,
rolling.
On the Segway.
Eric on a stick.
Wait, who's talking about me? What's going on? I'm on a
That
call
was
here.
creepy
Ellen
as
said
fuck.
we need
Trying to
the
sell
Eric on a
something.
stick.
The
Eric is-
iPad.
Eric's
at the
trying to
trade
book his
show.
next tea time.
You need Robo Loader.
He was sick.
Robo loader.
Need the Robo Loader.
Eric,
Robo
put the
loader.
customer on the call with us, and we'll give him 10 compelling reasons.
And a discount.
Big discount. Rolling Loud, Miami, May 7th to 9th at Hard Rock
Wow.
Stadium. How many people, Evan?
All right,
That I
Eric,
don't
just put
know.
the
I
guy
know
on the
they
phone
just
with me. I
announced
got it
dates.
sorted.
Sorry, Evan, what'd you say?
I said, I know they just announced dates, but I don't know the capacity, but they're
Do you
doing
know
it
who's
in
playing
that?
the parking lot.
Dearson, you're here in LA?
No,
Oh,
I was
Oh, he's in
Last week?
Gumper's shop.
I was there for a couple of weeks.
and no
I was
call.
doing a shoot up in Malibu.
Yep.
No
No
call.
call either.
Yeah, I was a little busy.
Bastard.
Yeah, they've got that, Evan, they've got the tennis thing at the Hard Rock right now too, the Miami Open, but I think they only have 1,000 fans in the main, whatever, arena, main stadium, main whatever. But
They're trying to push for June or July if they do it, not May.
for what? Oh, for Rolling Loud?
Yeah, if it happens, it may happen in June or July.
Ah.
I just got out of a meeting.
Oh, did you? There you go. Right from the horse's mouth.
Thanks.
Funny. So, I mean, it sounds to me like, get your rest because
Yeah.
July, August, September, October is going to be friggin' mayhem.
Already
Nuts.
got festivals here on
Greg's
Miami.
going to have to do 2 shows plus a EDM festival. I mean, geez, poor Greg.
I start traveling this month, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good. Where's your first trip?
Most likely Nashville, It's like, no, it's part of the road show, the non-road show,
Oh,
road show
cool.
for the Ultra.
Good.
Nashville, New York, LA, Vegas, and Chicago, but not in that
The
order.
usual suspects, but not.
When you coming to Vegas?
We're finalizing the dates, and so we'll be posting it and reaching out. You know, probably by this time next week, I could talk about them on this call. So
awesome.
Oh yeah,
Thanks,
we
Greg.
can
You
beat
can talk about
we can
them
beat
now.
Martin's
Shut up.
price. We can beat Martin's price, no problem. Just let me know.
Hey, hang on a sec. No, I can sell you used Martin for way cheaper than Elation. Just let me know. Oh, sorry. Did I
He was
say that out
talking to
loud?
Matthias this whole time.
The quantum wash is still a thing.
What did I miss?
They were putting you on a virtual presence device.
Hey,
All
I
right,
got a bunch of
yes,
demo
sir.
gear here that they'll never miss.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
Give it
going to
to you
ask you,
cheap.
Patrick, where we at with that thing?
Yeah,
How we
turn your
doing?
camera around.
It looks
It's
great.
happening.
Ooh, sneak peek.
Keep,
Nice.
keep talking so we can see it.
Yeah, do something. Move a light or something. Come on.
What's the
Show us
lead
they
time
work.
on this
Make-
gear?
we're
No,
making-
Don't show them. Don't show them anymore. Patrick. That's all they get to see.
Give it all away.
Oh, we
I
already
think-
saw the whole show. He just won't show it while you're on.
He played us the whole demo, Eric, before you got on. And I don't
Everything.
think I think you
Took
need
the
to pull
fixture
back some of those
apart.
discounts.
It
from
get
what
rave
Patrick
reviews.
showed us.
So is it just the Mondrian you're doing, or are you doing a couple?
Just a Mondrian.
That's a great light.
So,
Eric's
so
trying to
I
be
so I got an
funny.
invitation in my
We
email
all
box,
know
Eric.
that photo.
I got an email invitation in my mailbox there, Eric.
Yes.
I do.
Yes. Always, Chris. You're
I don't-
invited to everything, anywhere, everywhere.
Let me check again.
It's virtual. It's virtual though.
Hey, Loader, when are you going to let John Dunn come to New York for business
I'm
again?
boycotting.
Never. Never.
Matt needs a free meal.
No, I don't. I just like John Dunn.
Call Chris McMean. Or have you worn that out already, Matt?
Technically, Matt's my client, so I have to supply the meal.
There you go.
To be fair, I have not called a vendor and been like, feed me.
Nope.
Never.
I have. I did that the very first thing when I left the last manufacturer I worked for. First thing I did was called
No
up
shame.
a manufacturer and said, buy me dinner at LDI. And he went, okay, that's weird.
So I guess the real question is manufacturing side. Are you opening up the corporate card again, or is it still
Look at him. He's going back for the free meal. I told
Don't
you
answer.
guys.
Don't answer, Eric. Don't
Get
answer.
only it's gonna be
Don't answer.
spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, don't answer, Eric and Greg. Or
the
No.
falafel truck is on the corner, right? There you go.
In-N-Out burger truck.
I got Eric.
Yo, Greg, you better stock that.
Dial.
Greg better
Yeah.
stock that roadshow truck with plenty of fucking top ramen.
Box lunches for everybody.
Yeah, the king of subtle.
Yeah.
Eric, Matt's
Tell
beating
you
up
the
on, or
expenses are
Matt,
breaking
Eric's
my
beating
heart.
up on you in the
I know
chat room.
it's not a shock.
It's a daily occurrence.
Daily occurrence.
Marcel, can you believe I've got the last email just before I came on this meeting was the managing director we've put in place questioning my expenses, which are just minimal. I mean, they're absolutely. I bought drinks for a crew on a live stream, but there were a lot of drinks, like bottles and bottles of gin or rum and stuff.
Bring him on the call next week and we'll have a conversation with him.
But that same company placed like the largest order we've had in a year and a half, I think, during COVID with 2 of the D9s in this fucking pandemic.
There you go.
I can't, whatever.
Virtual
2
high five.
consoles.
I'll tell you what
plus
you
a-
do. I have a solution. I can fix this
And
for you.
the MD asked me about my expenses. You're like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
I'll
take
fix
a
it for you.
while.
Have Wiseman send you 1 month of expense reports as a
Oh, yeah, you
sample,
want to see that.
and then they will bless and thank God that you are working for them.
Hey, when I was at Verilight, we lost our credit cards because of what Wiseman did. There were no
Well,
corporate credit
high end
cards.
try to
lost
buy
theirs 'cause of
cocaine?
me. High end lost theirs because of me. Like a week after I started there, they had to come up with a new policy.
yeah, we lost the Trackman card because of me after Marcel left.
Well, that's because you guys were doing some dodgy shit. It wasn't my
Oh,
fault.
like we weren't when you were there. Come on.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I wasn't
whatever.
paying attention.
Same strip bar, baby. Same strip bar.
Sugars.
I didn't see it.
Ignoring it is different than not seeing it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Are you recording this one?
Yes.
Of course he is.
Ah, shit. Okay, I won't say it.
Do you want me to pause the recording?
Because he'll call me out in a year and say, "Hey,
No,
Eric,
I'll
remember
pause.
what you
I'll pause
said?"
the recording. I'll pause the recording, and you can say it. You ready?
Okay.
I'll
that
give you.
works.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Wow, look at all the money we blew the last amount of years.
What's John Dunn gonna do for his social life?
I was just thinking that.
Oh, hey,
No. What about
I
Chip?
don't want to.
You're worried about
step
Chippa.
out of turn.
That was Chatham's, by the way. I can't take credit for it.
You're recording, but he's pretty serious about somebody right now. So let's see. Maybe could be slowing down.
Good.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Who's that?
John.
Oh.
John Dunn.
Well, that's
I've heard that several times.
I don't want
in the
to.
past
I don't
few
want to
years.
Yeah,
jinx
so have
it.
I.
I don't want to jinx it. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it.
No,
but,
it was jinxed when he met her.
I will agree with Herrick though. Like for
Good.
Chippa, that's going to be a huge stab to the heart.
Yeah, our corporate cards are now re-ruled, I guess.
I'll buy John Dunn and Chippa drinks any day.
Hell yeah.
I don't think any of those guys are going to lack for drinks, even if we only pay them back one at a time from each of us.
Well, I mean, you guys know John Dunn has a wine club now, so he pandemic pivoted to
that's his side hustle.
I thought he said he was a prisoner, not that he was drinking the prisoner.
Oh.
That's funny.
Jeff Ravitz, when's your book come out?
The end of next month.
Yay!
Great.
Definitely
Like
want
that
a
plug,
signed
Jeff?
copy of that,
We
Jeff.
talked about this in the parking lot at Trader Joe's last
right.
week.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. How did Florida go?
Good. It was good.
Yeah. So it all comes out in a month. Kind of jazzed about that. Starting to put out some, little bit of social media and PR. Let's see what happens.
Very cool.
I think, yeah, man.
Congrats. That's awesome. Looking forward to reading it.
I got writer's cramp now, though.
Jeff, do you still have your office or do you just work at home these days?
Yeah, October. I just couldn't maintain it anymore, and so I moved out in October. So that's that. Another phase. Just
Was that the office on Riverside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love that office.
That was great.
I was there for 10 years.
And the restaurant across the street you liked, what was the Moe's or whatever it was? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's the way it goes. I can operate. I'm operating on a relatively simple level these days, and if I have to get, more complicated, I'll figure it out.
Oh, speaking of the devil, excuse me.
Jeff.
Yeah, I like not
All of
paying
it.
rent.
Yeah. No,
Put it on speaker, Eric. It's John Dunn. Come on, put it on speaker. Come on. Tell him he can't use his card anymore. Come on.
Where is he?
You guys are terrible.
Gaminsky is talking all kinds of crap about you.
Unmute him, Marcel. You can control that.
I'm going to text him right now, Loader, you son.
Maybe without all that entertaining, they didn't lose that much money last year.
Maybe.
Yes, honey. Yes, I'll stop and get food. Yes, I'm sorry. I know I'm on this call. I know I said I would. Yeah. Anyways.
That's why my father never wanted a cell phone. He's like, what am I going to do with it? Your mother's going to call me and tell me what to get on the way home.
Exactly. I think
You know what excites me is I just got emailed for Boston Red Sox tickets. So like feels like normalcy is coming back.
So if excites me is right here, baseball tickets are like somewhere over there, like
all right, Marcel, if it was hockey, you'd be like
way over there, baseball tickets.
I got to agree with Marcel on that. I got to go.
Oh, geez.
Hockey, babe.
Hey, Matt, I'm amazed that it's an email that excited you.
I mean, I'm buying Red Sox Mets tickets. Let's go at Citi Field. It's going to be awesome.
Prospect of it, man.
So, Mark, if Vegas is opening, then our hockey game's going to resume at full capacity soon?
Right now, they're at like 3,500 seats. I've had the I've been able to offered the ability to buy them, but like up in the nosebleeds, they're $165. Down in the lower level, $500.
Yeah.
I'll watch it on TV at that point.
Mark, same
I like
thing with
the
Dodger tickets. Basically what they've done is they've just, cleaned out the riffraff. I mean, like, but you can't, family of four, you're going to spend $2,000 for decent seats at Dodger
They've
Stadium.
cleaned out the
So that
riffraff,
means
which
you
means
can't
none
buy
of
any,
us can
Greg?
go.
I love my kids, man, but I don't know if they're worth $500 to eat.
You know who loves the Dodgers is John Dunn.
He loves
No, I
riffraff
will-
too, though.
I will say some of the best, games to go to is the Mets because tickets are like $10 a pop because they lose all the time.
Because it's
anymore
the
without
Mets.
the Steves spending money.
Exactly, but if I could see Red Sox against the Mets for $10, I'm going.
No, those
I've
tickets
seen
are
for
going
$10. The Mets are actually going to be great this year.
Yeah,
So
as long as
Look.
they're not fucking Yankees, man.
You know what though? The nice thing is that when you do huge dollar amounts like you are, Mr. Baller, with all your stock investments, you can go see any game you want. Make it rain on those mofos. Come on, Matt.
Yeah, Patrick, you woke up in a mood today, dude.
Yeah.
He's just beating up on poor Matt.
I
Your
haven't seen that in a
sailboat
while, so I
sank?
miss him.
Your sailboat sink or something? What happened?
He went to Florida and got a mood.
Oh fuck! Florida man, I don't get it. I really
See, I told you.
I just,
Or don't you get it?
drive the speed limit. Go 1 mile an hour over. Humor me. Don't stop on a yellow. I mean, weird shit like that. Just please, Florida. Come on.
You're in, the old coast, the left coast of Florida.
Yeah, California and Florida
Very
do
different
not
up here. It's
They
very
don't mix.
different over here.
Patrick,
Drive
your
100
mind would
miles an hour.
explode. As soon as the light turns green here in New York, they lay the horn on. Like doesn't even give you like
I'm
2
with my
5
people.
seconds.
Maybe I need to move to New York.
I
And
don't
in
even
South
lift if
Florida,
they're not out of the crosswalk.
in South Florida, the New Yorkers do the same thing. It's very much the same down here.
It's annoying. It's like, man, let the light turn green before you lay the horn on me.
The left lane thing. So there's two real serious pet peeves with driving I have here. One is the left lane thing. Like it's just another lane on the freeway. It's not the fast lane. It's just another lane. I'm going to mosey over here. Even though the guy in front of me is going way faster than I am, I'm going to mosey over into the left lane. So that pisses me off because then you got to dodge around them and stuff. And flashing lights does nothing. They don't even notice it, right? And then the second one is this thing where they put on their blinkers on when it rains. And they're
the emergency lights.
They all drove differently.
there's the lighted
So much
signs.
nicer back then.
There's the lighted signs. I need to mute Patrick. There's the lighted signs above the freeway that say, when it rains, shut your fucking blinkers off and turn your headlights on, you dumbass.
It's what? Why would anybody put their blinkers on?
They
What?
put on their emergency lights.
They
Just
don't
because it's raining?
see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blinker gives away your next move.
Yeah. So nobody gets rear-ended.
No, the hazard lights, Patrick.
Yeah, the hazard lights.
Every time it rains?
Yes.
Every time it rains, there's drivers like crazy on Florida highways with their blinker, with the hazard lights.
Hazard lights.
Are they driving extra slow though?
Yes.
It's Florida.
Well,
They
not
all-
really.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
random, whatever. They are just driving with their hazard lights on. They think you can't see them. And I've never seen it in any other state except Florida.
Do they actually turn their lights on when it rains too, like you're supposed to?
They drive with their lights on
Oh,
all
I
the
think-
time. Are you kidding
Marsha,
me?
you're muted.
Sorry. Marcel, you're absolutely right, but are they your only 2 pet peeves? Because
Oh no, there's thousands of them. Those are just my two
Okay,
worst
good.
ones.
Then
Yeah.
we agree on that. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
right lane that should be the slower lane is not the passing lane.
No.
And people go out of their way to pass you on the right while the turn.
Well, no, but
is
that's
in the-
because freaking
You
the
guys are
asshole is
too
on the
slow in
left
the other
on
way.
40.
Yeah, you're too slow on the big lane.
Yeah,
Hey, there's always the shoulder if you need Marcel. Hey, come on.
I've used it. Trust me.
Yeah, I've used it many times in Florida, many times on the turnpike.
Now, Florida drivers are special.
Florida's the worst.
Sidewalks.
Yeah, Florida is by far the worst state
people who drive motorcycles here are very brave people because
So think
there's no
about
such
LA.
thing as looking over your shoulder. You know, like when I drive and I'm in the center lane, I'm looking here, I'm looking here, I'm looking here, looking here. I'm never looking where I'm going. I'm looking at those two because I know one of them is going to move into my lane any second while I'm in it,
Yeah, but
right?
You guys don't have motorcycles splitting lanes like in LA or California,
No,
which is
no,
like,
we don't have that.
and any second there's a a motorcycle right next to you or in front of you.
Have you been
so-
to Italy? Have you been to Italy?
Yeah.
Because you could be at the front of the traffic, like at the traffic light, and they all come zoom right in front of you.
Oh
like
yeah,
30,
same as LA.
30
Or
Vespas
right over your car.
or over your car or whatever. Yeah, they just find a way to the front. They're like mosquitoes.
Just
Matt-
be glad you don't have to deal with snow down there. And then you can get to play whose lane is it anyways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Canadians, as soon as they see a little bit of snow in the air, immediately forget how to drive and are driving
Well, that's
either in the
Eastern
center
Canadian. That's Eastern Canadian.
Well, yeah,
in
that's,
Western Canada, we do know how to drive in snow occasionally.
do you guys drop from doing 120 on the highway to doing 30, even though there is less than an inch of snow on the ground?
I mean, nobody drives 120 here.
He's talking about kilometers.
Yeah, that's 65, 65
Oh
miles an hour.
Come
to
on,
5
Matt, you're more
miles an hour.
international than that.
I know.
What's happening at Greg Jones's house, though? People are just running around.
The best part when Americans come to Canada is they look at their speedometer and they see the highway sign that says 110 and they drive 110 miles an hour, which is almost 3 times the speed limit.
That's always my excuse.
Anthony, I do that in New York when it says 55 miles an hour.
There you go.
We call that Tuesday in Nevada.
Except in Toronto, they drive twice the speed limit anyways, and the cops don't care. So that's
Well, the
fine.
other thing that's always funny when an American goes to Canada is when they exchange money in the airport and they're standing there looking at it going, what is this? Like, what is all this colorful stuff, you know?
The only Canadian bill that's green is the 20. So green, blues are 5, greens are 20, red is 50, and brown is 100. And
they're all plastic now.
When Americans, yeah, they're plastic and they smell like maple syrup. And they stick
Which is
they
awesome.
stick to each other like you are
I know,
cooking
that's
in a frying pan without any butter.
Sorry, is
Don't
it
they
smells like
have
maple
like
syrup,
the
Frank?
clear strip in the middle of them or something like that?
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a
they
little
got a
place
quick
you're
strip.
actually. Hang on, let me show you a Canadian bill.
Oh, God.
Give me 1 second.
Give me Monopoly funny money.
Sure. How about that?
Gotta run, Matt. I love you. It's always in good fun, and have a good day. Good luck on the investments, Matt.
What a dick.
This little maple leaf is apparently what smells like maple syrup, but it doesn't actually smell like maple syrup.
Is
And
it a
here's some-
scratch and sniff?
No, they just smell like maple syrup.
Look at this. Watch this. Impressive. Bang. I got
There
it. I got one, too. I got the 5. I got the 5. Hang on. What else do I got in here? I don't know. I got them all.
You weren't letting you into that kind of thing anymore.
The other funny thing about Canadian money is nobody knows who's on them.
And it's worth absolutely nothing.
That is true.
Windows.
No,
It's
it's
transparent in its
Leonard
value.
Nimoy.
One of your bills has Leonard Nimoy on it.
The only reason I keep them in my wallet in my like travel wallet instead of cashing them in is because you cash it in for American dollars and you give them $500 and they give you like 126 and you're like, what?
Marcel, you have a wallet specifically for travel?
He calls it a purse.
A little
It's just
Tumi travel wallet thing with all my airline cards and all that bullshit. You don't need it anymore, but I'm old. But like you got it all in your phone now.
Canada is the only currency with screen doors on it.
That's a douchebag, Patrick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You're such a douchebag.
Dearson for the win.
It does. It's got fucking windows on it.
Windows
It's
on it.
transparent. This is value.
Funny guy.
Hey, Dearson, if we come down for LDI, can we go shooting?
Yeah, you better bring Bitcoin to buy the ammo.
Oh, shit, really?
How fast can you run, Matt?
We're gonna have tryouts.
Even 9mm, man?
Everything. Perfect.
9mm is 70 cents a round right
Yeah.
now on the low end.
Yeah, I was
Like
just
even so Target grade, 70 cents.
yeah, I was just in Vegas thinking it was going to be cheaper, and it wasn't.
Nowhere.
Where'd you find it? Where'd you find it for 70 cents at?
Is global.
Where'd you find it for 70 cents at? The cheapest I've found it's around $1 right now.
There's a place
Texas
Rugged over in Chinatown in Vegas that had some for 70. I mean,
Yeah,
that
there
was
was some in Pahrump too. Yeah.
Do they sell online?
Yeah.
So
Not at the same price, I don't
What
think,
place
right?
is that, Eric or Patrick? What place?
Rugged. It's
Chinatown?
RHUGGED, I think is the name of it.
So Patrick, you are going to do your LDI shootout, right? Even with the price high on ammo. I mean,
Yeah, for those that want to pay for it.
I mean, Heather, that's like the biggest thing she looks forward to every year. So just keep her safe.
Yeah, but you can't get lead poisoning now because you got a kid. Be careful.
So Patrick, do you do that stuff in the desert or do you run out of range?
No, we go to the desert.
I'll pay for it as long as we have the exploding targets.
That's always a part of it.
That's what you're running out
Smoke
for.
grenades. I was actually thinking about doing it at gunship helicopters last year, but obviously the pandemic put the kibosh on that. We were going to take the helicopter up.
If it doesn't cost me $2,000 to quarantine when I come back to Canada, then yes, I will join you as well.
Fair enough.
Put my hand up as well.
Yeah, Rhonda's in, Patrick.
Rhonda's in for what?
Yeah, let's do it.
Anthony, why does it cost you $2,000 to quarantine?
Because the fucking Canadian government, that's why.
So you got to
But it's
pay to
Canadian,
quarantine?
So
Yeah, so basically the thing with it is too many people were traveling out of the country for fun, including most of the people that decided to make these new rules. And so they said, okay, here's a hotel in Toronto. Basically, you can only get into the country in Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, and I think Calgary.
Yep.
And at every airport, they have a hotel that's a quarantine hotel specifically. And you have to pay $2,000 per person for 3 nights in a hotel. And then you get to go home and then quarantine for the rest of your 14 days.
I wonder-
You need
You gotta do
a
it.
COVID test before you get on the plane, a COVID test when you get off the plane, and a COVID test 5 days after you get home.
What if you're
gotta pay
vaccinated?
for that socialized medicine somehow?
Hey, I went to the dentist the other day and I got $1,000 bill.
Ooh.
Yeah, Canadian healthcare doesn't cover anything good. It covers accidents, but it doesn't cover anything else.
Well, it's typical social medicine, but let's not go there.
Yeah.
What about, so do you still have to quarantine if you get vaccinated?
Even in Canada, I can't fly from where I am now to Ontario. Like I can fly there, but when I come back, I'm stuck quarantining for 2 weeks. So the eastern part of Canada, all the Newfoundland, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and here, Nova Scotia, you can't travel within the provinces without quarantining for 2 weeks on each end, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then I can't, for example, if I have friends in Toronto who wanted to fly me up to do a gig for them, like a 6-hour gig, and they wouldn't even I can't fly up and get off a plane for 6 hours and fly back without having to quarantine for 2 weeks. The second I get onto the plane, that's it. I'm stuck quarantining for 2 weeks.
Anthony, we have Colin from our CT. He's from Montreal. We've flown him down several times, and he has the note that we've given him as essential worker, and he goes straight home.
No,
I don't know if that'll fly.
No, that's
that won't
bullshit.
fly here.
So somebody I know really well worked at the Grammys, went back to Canada, and he has, the essential worker bullshit and all that stuff. He had to do the thing that everybody has to do it. I was born
They're
in
even forcing the NHL players to do it.
So-
Although I think they might be fighting.
Really?
No, but hang on a sec. So anyways, he went back, he did the 3 nights or 2 nights or whatever in the hotel, did the test, all that stuff, got home, and you're on a quarantine when you get home as well, right? And the quarantine police came to his house and said, "Have you been outside?" And he said, "Yeah, I took my garbage out." And he got in huge trouble for taking his garbage out.
Yeah,
His
Colin
garbage from
actually.
his house to the curb, and he got in trouble.
Yeah, actually, Colin came to Vegas to do some rigging in our showroom. He actually got the shot the Johnson & Johnson shot in the Vegas Convention Center as a Canadian citizen and got home, and we brought him back in 3 days.
So
I don't know how it's
less
working
than
out.
1% of Canada that currently has a vaccine shot. Let that sink in.
Canada's vaccines are bad.
And he got it as a Canadian citizen, damn it. And I don't have it.
I can fly down and get a vaccine shot in the States tomorrow faster than I will get a vaccine in Canada, because I'm ETA for me to get a vaccine in Canada is September.
Yeah, I think I'm about July here in Ventura County.
So Canada's probably not entertainment wise going to see any events until September at the earliest.
Just come to Vegas, Chris.
Yeah,
you can get it.
I was in Vegas and they wouldn't give me the same day. And
Well,
then
Brad went from Vegas to LA to get his. Brad got a shot last week.
Really?
Or 2 weeks ago.
I have my second one April 6th.
the guys that went to Vegas to do our showroom, they did the appointment the day before, went to the Las Vegas Convention Center, did the Johnson & Johnson so they could go back to Boston, Canada, and Florida. And they were done.
Hey, David, click on that link I posted. It's pretty effed up.
Just David?
It's, basically, in case anyone cares, it's an ABC News thing saying missing film designer found dead under garbage.
Oh, yeah. The Hoarder.
Yeah, the Hoarder.
Yeah.
She
hasn't worked much since 2006. She has one credit last year, but apparently she hasn't worked for a while, and she's been living as a hoarder, and her sister found her dead.
Yeah, it's an Emmy-winning production designer.
Yeah.
And she lives in Queens.
That's
the last time they saw her alive was September 30th, 2020.
Oh,
And they
wow. Wow. Ouch.
That's sad.
Yeah,
She was she worked on Mermaids and Still Alice. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I just saw that.
So
Greg Jones, did you get your shot yet?
Oh, that's an interesting story. So in LA, who was it? Somebody on here? No, a lighting designer in LA sent me an article in LA Times about, it was like buying concert tickets. So my wife spent 6 hours on the computer just clicking and clicking, and then you'd get a pinwheel for 15 minutes. And after about 7-8 hours, a week and a half ago, she got her at one location. I had to drive 35 minutes for our first shot with a different vaccine. But basically, it's the whole thing that in the afternoon, when they have the vaccine and someone didn't show up, if they book 900 people and 682 show up, they'll open it up on the site. You just have to be that lucky SOB that clicks the button.
So we're not eligible at 50 years old right now. So how did you get it? Did you say that you had underlying conditions?
No, that's the thing.
No, they open it up to everybody. Once they open it up to anybody.
Not in California. Not in California, baby.
They didn't, Chris. I think it's tomorrow, Chris.
Tonight at 12 o'clock, 01. Buying.
So, but what this was when you click on it without the, migrant farm worker, whatever the subjects were, you just click on it and a pinwheel will come up. I mean, I literally walked by her 10 times that day, and after 5.5 hours, she said, it was a funny story. She says, "You got one." And she goes, "Oh, that's for me." And then like 2 hours went by and she got hers. And I said, I'm fishy because about 2 months earlier, our life insurance policy went up. So I'm thinking, there's a conspiracy here.
That's what they want you to check, that underlying box. You don't have to prove that you have underlying.
Listen, I'll be honest. We know a ton of people that went down that path and, whatever they're calling it, cutting a line.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
not for me. Not for me.
Honestly, Greg, you're a public facing person, right? Like, don't you qualify?
Not in California.
No,
in Florida, I think they just opened it to anybody over 20.
Connecticut open to 18 plus now.
New York is 18 plus too.
No, tonight at 12 o'clock, it'll be 50 and over.
50 plus.
Don't they have to get rid of stuff at the end of the day? Isn't that how he did it?
Well,
that's exactly it.
Yeah. Well, also California said if you have or the governor said, if you have somebody come with you, they will not deny them a shot as well.
Oh, that's great.
So you just
Yeah, that's
rent a
great. Until you have an
handicap
appointment, there's no vaccines at the end of
rent a handicap person.
no, it's
You can do it at Disney.
No,
You
it's
can
just
rent
like
a handicap person for the day at Disney.
No, it's just
No,
like when
it's
you're
the whole
17,
family.
17 years old standing outside a liquor store. You just find someone and say, hey, you know, here's $20. Can you just go find some old guy outside the clinic and pay him $20 and go in and get a shot with him?
Well, I'm that old person now. I'm 50. So are they
There
looking
you
for
go.
me?
No, I have a lot of
April
friends
5th.
in I have a lot of friends in New York who aren't working, and before the governor opened it up, would call like pharmacies and like wait outside in line at pharmacies, and yeah, pharmacists would come out at the end of the night and they're like, we have 8 doses. First 8 people get it.
See you, Jeff.
Later,
April
Jeff.
5th
You all.
in Nevada is open up to anybody 16 and older.
Yeah.
Because there's been, I think they said 15% of the population now is fully vaccinated,
Yeah,
which
here,
is really good.
here in California, what they've been seeing is since the governor said, anybody that comes with you, you can get a shot. Even if you're, younger, under,
Not
and so they're
qualified.
bringing in van loads. So instead of 1 shot, they're giving 10 shots. So by Friday here in Ventura County, they don't have any shots because they've used them all. So I'm in a terrible county that we're getting hosed now.
Come
Unfortunately.
to Vegas.
Yeah, I should have done it. I should have stayed an extra day.
Well, Chris,
Come
they're
to
they're
Connecticut.
vaccinating.
Just
Johnson and Johnson.
do a gig in Connecticut.
Pfizer.
First, I hear they're vaccinating anyone in Florida. You can just fly to Florida.
Yeah. I gotta fly the whole family, then it's not cost effective.
They pretty much
A lot of Canadians are
Go to
actually
Disney
flying to
World.
Florida.
They're opening
to get
up.
vaccinated.
I think they didn't,
Give you a little mouth Band-Aid when you
by like
get
the
it.
middle of April, it's gonna be anyone over, I think 18, isn't that?
Yeah.
I think it's 20 right now
Where in Florida?
in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, but everybody
My
I know,
daughter lives
everybody
in,
I know.
my daughter lives in Tampa, and she's a teacher, and she teaches at the University of Tampa. She signed up for a shot. She got an appointment. She has asthma, and they told her, they denied her, but she couldn't cancel her appointment. So she went and they gave her the shot anyway.
Yeah. I mean, technically,
This
you
is the
could put.
most organized state, needless to say. Nothing is done logically or what makes sense.
I mean,
And
if
have-
you want to, if you want to get technical, they can't ask you because of HIPAA what your underlying condition is. So
Yeah.
you could put down underlying condition, and they can't.
Yeah, but this is California. He said the same thing. So now California does all the insurance stuff for health insurance. That will adjust your health insurance for next year, for sure.
To take a shot.
Yes,
Oh.
because you said you had underlying conditions. Now the insurance company wants to know what your underlying conditions are. So that's why we didn't lie.
That's
why I don't have a shot.
Yeah, but they already know. They have your records.
But I didn't click anything, but some of these guys did. So now
Well,
they're
I
going to
mean, for
ask.
your insurance, they know what's wrong with you.
Well, I didn't click it because I don't have anything wrong with me. Some people did.
You are a rare breed,
Hi,
my
Patrick.
friend.
Hey,
I just got mental issues.
question.
Come to Florida, Chris.
I want to.
Hi, Eric.
Is Tony Carey still here from Health Systems?
I think he just left.
Oh, did he? Damn it! I wanted to ask him something.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask him about the Houston rodeo. Yeah, we just lost half. We just lost half our crowd on vaccine.
On vaccine talk.
Well, or the fact that it's
such a
6:30.
compelling discussion.
I mean, to be fair, Eric Gloder was probably selling gear, and Patrick probably had to program, and Herrick has to
Gloder's
play
dreaming
Dungeons
of selling
Dragons.
gear.
And we've been doing this an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually need to take off too, guys.
Yeah,
But-
it's time to go.
I do too.
Might as well.
Bye,
All right,
everyone.
see you next week.
We'll see you guys.
See ya. See ya.
Miss you all.
Guys, see ya.